Your brain or your intellect is your focusing mechanism, so it's important.
Okay.
But if you will, rather than trying to solve a problem which keeps the problem active, if you'll look for a solution. And it takes a little bit of feeling to realize that the vibrational properties of the problem and the solution are very different. And sometimes when you think you're actually thinking about a solution, you're not. You're railing against the problem. So it's about first sorting that out. You want to be solution-oriented. And in fact, that's a good thing for everyone to intend. And it's easy to do. It comes up several times in every day. Rather than feeling the need to identify the problem, to articulate the problem, to catalog the problem, and you said to even figure out how the problem got there.
Yes.
Because that's all
not helping.
Problem-oriented. That's all resistance-inducing. That's all slowing it down. That's all muddying the waters. That's all obscuring the path. That's all confusing the intellect. So the way your intellect becomes more clear is by not introducing so many details that just bog it down, by starting in more general places. And then sometimes all of you have had the experience of some condition that had your attention and got worse, and had your attention and got worse, and had your attention and got worse. Then you got distracted. Usually those conditions weren't very severe. They weren't life-threatening. They weren't something that you were giving, that you felt fear around, but they were conditions that were annoying. And then when something else got your attention, suddenly you realize that that condition had disappeared by lack of airplay. Everything unwanted would disappear by lack of airplay. But you got to understand when you're given it what you're doing. In other words, the universe doesn't hear what you say. The universe hears what you mean. So it doesn't matter if you put a fake smile on your face and use words that sound better to those who are listening in. It's what you mean that the universe is responding to. So you have to find some way of de-emphasizing vulnerability while you emphasize your feeling of invincibility, your feeling of autonomy, your feeling of sure-footedness, your feeling of getting what you want. So we can shout at you all day, every day, and we do. We like doing it. You can have anything you want. You can be or do or have anything you want. You create your own reality. But then we have to add the words. But you got to figure out how you're doing that. You got to start noticing what you've been thinking and feeling and what's coming. And then if what's coming doesn't please you, then you got to start thinking and feeling different. And we don't know anybody who can stop thinking about something because you're thinking about the thing that you're not going to think about. There's no exclusion. So what you want to do is start thinking about something that feels better. But what trips you up is that when you try to think about something that feels better when something that you don't want is what's really active, you're too much on the subject. So when you've got something you don't want, and you say, okay, I'll think about its opposite, we say, not likely. Not likely. There's too much momentum going. But you could think about something else that you want, something else that's pleasing, that's not on the subject. Here are strong words. When you no longer do that thing you do that keeps you from being where you want to be, you'll be where you want to be. When you stop doing that thing, now that sounds negatively oriented, but you can't keep offering a vibration that has caused the creation of something without continue. In other words, got to stop doing that. How do you stop doing that? By starting to do something else. And by doing it first thing in the morning when it's not so likely that it's going to call you to where it is. You've got your best chance of finding a new feeling in the morning before the old feeling got revved up again. Because the old feeling went to sleep when you did. Don't wake it up.